talk about in this video today is caregiving. And one of my viewers asked me about that, as she is having to be a caregiver to her parents. Now, I've been a caregiver for a few different companies, Home Instead, just a few different companies. So I'm just going to give you my observations, my opinions, and what I have seen. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is you need to give older people some respect and help them to have dignity. And do not treat them like children. They are not children. They have lived long lives to get to where they are. And I've seen that so many times, that children talk to their parents like they're children. They don't give them any choice in anything anymore. They just boss them around like they're little kids. They do not deserve that disrespect. And it really pisses me off when I see and hear that. Now, one other thing I'm going to say is that if you are a caregiver, you have got to take care of yourself. Because if you don't, you're going to make yourself get into an early grave, and you're going to lose your health because of stress, and you will be no good to anyone. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story about a gentleman that I had the pleasure of being his caregiver. One of many. That's a common complaint of folks who have to have caregivers, is that they come and go like their home is a revolving door. Now, they're low-paying jobs, you guys. Unless you work directly for a family, if there's insurance involved, then the company pays you a little so they will make the most. This gentleman, and I hate to say it, but I cannot remember his name, but he was a very tall, thin gentleman. He had Parkinson's, pretty advanced. It would take him 5 to 10 minutes to get from his room out to the living room. He insisted on showering himself, and it took him quite a long time. Now, what he would do to protect his modesty and my embarrassment was, when he got out of the shower and dried as best he could, he would sit on the toilet lid and cover himself, his lap, with a towel. I would go in and help him put on his underwear. He was a very proud man, and it was very hard for him to accept this type of help. The first day I was there, I fixed him a big breakfast. I fixed him scrambled eggs, French toast, and some bacon. Y'all, he thanked me over and over all day, telling me that that was the most wonderful breakfast he had had in years. It took him a very long time to eat. I got in trouble with his daughter. I guess he had told her about his good breakfast, This man was in his early 90s, okay? And his daughter reprimanded me for feeding her father bacon and eggs. Bacon has too much sodium, eggs have too much cholesterol. Stick to the oatmeal, she said. Well, I'm going to tell you something, y'all. When you get that old, the only pleasure you have left in life is food. And maybe if you watch TV, that gives you some pleasure. I totally ignored his daughter. I fed him whatever he wanted, even if I had to go to the store and get it myself. He asked for it and he got it. And I wanted to do everything I could to make his last days happy. And he loved me for that. And I loved that old man. In fact, I was with him and we watched together on television the crashing of the planes into the World Trade Centers. And I will never forget that. We both cried like babies. But that's just one little story, you guys. I mean, older people don't deserve to be treated like children. Now, I've had experiences with nursing homes and the state-run facilities and also the very, very expensive facilities. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, if you have a loved one, please, please go visit them. It may be hard for you to do, and you may be busy, but you owe it to them. If they've ever done one thing for you in your life, you owe it to them to show a little kindness and a little caring. I've seen so many people in nursing homes that no one comes to visit, and it is so sad. I always tried to make a point to spend a few minutes with people that I saw that were in that situation. Another thing I want to tell y'all about places like that, and even if you have a personal caregiver that comes to your loved one's home, make visits. Don't make them on regular days of the week. Don't make them at a certain time every day. Go in the morning, go at noon, go in the afternoon, go in the evening, go on the weekdays, go on the weekend. Because I'm telling you, they will take better care of your loved one if they know that you will pop in at any time. I have seen that over and over again. I have reported state-run facilities for their lack of care and their ill treatment of the residents that live there. Now, y'all, there is such a thing as elder abuse, and it is not uncommon. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of love to care for older people, just like it does children, even though I'm saying do not treat them like children. They're very low-paying jobs, the bottom, so they don't attract the best people. A lot of people that work in places like that, y'all, they make the minimum wage and they're exhausted and they have a lot of stress in their life. It pays to keep your eyes open. Now, I'm sure I could say a lot more on this subject, but I do like to keep my videos under 10 minutes if possible. So y'all, be careful with your loved ones and delegate. Get yourself some help. Never be the only caregiver for your loved one. It will wear you out. It will cause you to be impatient, and it will cause you to be irritable and stressed out. So don't do that. Take care of yourself. And thank y'all so much for all your suggestions and putting your question mark at the beginning of your questions. And I love you all, and I appreciate you so very much. Later.